All right. Welcome to the motherfucking Laugh Boys podcast. This is episode 60. This is the water edition. As you guys can clearly tell, we are drinking water only for this episode, just to bring awareness to some of the issues that our climate is going through.
Because people, it's just water.
I thought it was just because it was hot as fuck today, man.
Also that, but we got to save the water.
I also want to bring attention to this man's
small
neck,
Bring attention.
small V around his neck. I've never seen a V that's so small, dude.
It's a very small
Maybe
V.
you just got bulging ass muscles.
I'm not.
Look at this bulge ass neck.
Sometimes
dude.
you gotta bulge out. Welcome to episode 60. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. If you have not subscribed already, make sure you do subscribe. E-Man is launching into some translations for our fans overseas, and we love y'all so much. My name is Alwa Gordon, by the way. I rep that 88 over everything. If you want to come and see me rap, I highly encourage it. June 29th, I'll be playing in Santa Cruz. August 4th, I'll be playing in San Francisco, and I'll be back in Santa Cruz August 23rd, and there's some other surprises in between there. So make sure you check it out. I'm also here with...
It is your boy K-Cheesy, the Don Wonton Soup Beezy, baby.
Hey,
here
my
from
man.
Costco, it's your boy Costco K-Cheesy. Go ahead,
my man Wonton Weezy in the building with a little bit of a Costco intro this time. I'm also here with my man...
That fool days.
Hey.
You know.
He was a ladies' man, now the married man. How's the marriage, man?
Get out of here with that shit, man.
How's the marriage treating you?
Wonderful.
Anything different yet?
Wonderful. No, man. You're gonna keep asking this every week.
Does she beat you?
Does she beat you yet?
It's gonna be the same answer every week.
Does she spank you yet?
Ouch. You know.
Hey, we thank you guys so much. Sean, why don't you ask these people when the podcast starts?
Hey, when does the podcast start?
I believe the podcast starts right about now.
You were supposed to ask them, though.
You're supposed to ask them.
I don't give a fuck, dude.
Hey, okay, so I have a question for you guys. This is something that's like, I think kind of obvious, but whatever. You guys know who Tony Robbins is, right?
Oh, is that the
director, right?
Motivational speaker?
Yeah.
He's in that movie Shallow Hal.
Yep.
So, some allegations came out that he had some sexual relationships that weren't necessarily... they didn't really go both ways, I guess is a really good way to say it. Some sexual assault allegations came out from multiple women. And for me, I was like...
So rape? Like rape?
I don't think rape, but I think more like along the lines of
assault?
harassment.
Okay.
Like sexual harassment.
Yeah. It's no joke, man.
But when I saw that, I was kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. That kind of like that. I mean, that fits with that guy though. Like
why are you saying it fits with? I don't really know too much about Tony Robbins to know his sexual personality.
Right. But I'm just saying in terms of like gurus. Like that whole like
because he spits the truth, he's sexual.
Not because he spits the truth.
Maybe because he took advantage of
But you guys know what I'm saying though. Like those people in those positions where they have a mass audience of their own. I'm not surprised when things like this pop up.
It's like I said before, right? It's
what did you say before?
How it's like first they might be down, and then later on it's like maybe I wasn't down. Like, I don't know. It's a little weird.
Tony Robbins.
No, like they're down at the moment, and maybe something didn't go the way they planned it was going to go. Like, and then now they just have this resentment.
I didn't know you were such a big Tony Robbins fan.
Tony Robbins, my dude.
No, Tony Robbins. I mean, sometimes it happens, but then it doesn't happen.
So you know what it is, bro.
Tony Robbins. Signing off.
It's a conspiracy theory, man.
No, hey, man. Look, Tony Robbins. He's a motivational speaker, right? Dude, I think that when
he'd be alright.
No, I just think that. Yo, this is fucked up. We're talking about sexual assault here.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
So you'll be alright.
No, serious topic.
No, I think a lot of famous people when they get that power, like you have all these people watching you because they're looking up to you as this big powerful guy that has all the answers. I think sometimes you let that power get to your head, and I think sexual assault is a way to get some of that
frustration out.
I just think that people they just get too power driven, and then I think sexual assault is a way to
also
use that.
They get too
and it's not a good thing. I'm just saying a lot of times that's what happens, right?
Like they get too comfortable like with doing certain things, because they're like, oh, well, I'm this person, so people are gonna overlook if I, what I'm saying? Like they get comfortable to that point where it's like they don't think. I don't know how to explain. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like they think they can get away with it, basically.
Well, I think it's also too. It's like, dude, you're like I said, when you are powerful, you're famous. I think that you just get used to hearing yes all the time. That you're not used to saying no. So when you hear no, you just don't take it well, you know. It's like, dude, that's not real. That's not you're in your own fucking form of reality. I think when you are a celebrity or when you have that type of power. So
dangerous game, man.
I think that's probably what happened. But I don't know. Like again, I don't know Tony Robbins.
Yeah,
I don't knows him. So
I don't know. He was
come on,
avid fan.
He just sexually assaulted someone.
Well, I mean, he's not my boy for that, but
he's not your boy for that.
No, I'm just kidding.
He doesn't know Tony Robbins.
Yeah, well, I know who he is, but I don't follow him like that.
I just think like people in that position of power, like I'm not surprised, right? Like people that are like those motivational speakers, or they're going to conferences to like sell you on themselves and like have their own. I want to say almost cult, because Tony Robbins did have like a cult feel. Like I'm a little bit more familiar with it. I mean, but those are the people that you're not surprised about, though, right? You're like, yeah, that makes sense.
Dude, you know the dad, right? You know the dad from Seventh Heaven. You ever watch that show, Seventh Heaven?
No, I never watched
the pastor.
I fucking hated those commercials,
I think
bro.
so.
Dude, well, the dude is like, dude, he was like a pastor. In real life, he was all about God and all that. Dude, he was like everybody's dad who watched him on TV.
Hey, there's a lot of that going on.
Well, I'm just saying, like, this guy, like, everyone, like, trusts him just based on what they saw on TV. But, dude, behind the scenes, this dude was, like, molesting young girls.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So it's like, dude, you never really expected. People just have some dark fucking childhoods that lead.
Let me ask you a question then, dude. So I'm a little jaded in the sense that when someone is like overly righteous,
Jacob.
No, jaded.
Yeah,
because they have something to hide or something.
I don't know. Instantly, when someone's like over the top with the righteousness, it just like kicks off red flags for me, and it makes me think like, maybe like you know.
Is that maybe because of your past maybe experiences as like youngster? You were probably like you did something bad, and then you would like try to make up for it by doing something good or expressing something good. And it's like,
I just think that no.
I mean,
I just think I just think it comes back to like, dude, if you have to feel like you need to prove yourself, you're overcompensating for something that you feel insecure about, or something that
that's kind of what I meant, but he said it better.
If you feel like you need to go out and show the world how great you are constantly, that might raise a red flag. You know what I mean? When you're too good to be true, there's usually something else going on, or it could be. So,
or you might be too good to be true.
Nah, I mean,
except Will Smith. Though Will Smith is good.
Nah, no, but behind closed doors.
Yeah, you never know.
Come on, dog.
Hey, no, but
that shit.
Isn't a lot of that going around right now? Like
what, a lot of Will. There's a lot of Will going around.
He's Genie, bro. Aladdin. Hell yeah, he'd be going around.
Go ahead, baby.
No, but I'm saying like a lot of like celebrities and stuff coming out like with allegations like that you know. Out of all those, you don't think any of them might be fake, or any of them might be?
I think so. Here's the thing. That's very possible, but I think when there's like multiple people and their stories all are like very similar and the timeline matches up, like at a certain point, you're just like, hey.
And they're all celebrities, and then this goes what Haitian was saying about power and being up there.
I mean, people like that, yeah, they're used to like getting told yes.
I mean, but think about it, like, dude. So who we heard it about? Fucking Harvey Weinstein. Dude's a creep.
Comedians, right?
Dude's a creep. Fucking Tiger Woods. Dude's a fucking creep. Fucking Bill Cosby. I love Bill Cosby, but the dude has been fucking.
I don't remember if it was Bill Blur or Louis C.K. Is that Louis C.K.?
What? Yeah, they actually got taken down.
Yeah. That's
for what?
For the same thing, sexual harassment. That's what I was saying. It's like a lot of that, like all of it, just. I don't know, man. I can't help but think that maybe, but I don't know. I might be wrong.
What you might be like, you never finish your shit.
I just feel like you already got it because you know me so well.
But they don't know you.
But their viewers don't.
All right, I'm sorry, viewers. But
for those of us that don't know you, what are you trying to say?
No, like if someone is like, you know, doing something behind like closed doors or something, like, you know, trying to get these people down or trying to.
You think that there might be a big conspiracy?
Yeah, like maybe not all of them, but I feel like, dude, that was just like. A lot that went down in like a short period of time. Because I mean, I just heard celebrity after celebrity after celebrity. I don't know if it was like.
Well, dude, it's like, okay, but then where's the line? Like, dude, usually when there's smoke, there is fire, right? Where there's smoke, there is fire. Dude, I also feel like, dude, like we're in an age where social media that you can have an idea, right? And you can make a documentary. And then you can get all these people to just hop on, right? As soon as someone makes a documentary, then now legal is fucking looking into it, taking these people down. But I just think people are also opportunists, like what E-Man's saying, and they like to jump on the idea. That, you know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying, yeah.
Just to play devil's advocate. But I also think that the people that they have made big cases about and they have taken down, I legitimately do think that they have done what they're being accused of.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it too.
I mean, so a big piece of that, what you're saying, is like the Me Too movement. So a lot of people felt more comfortable coming out, like with these accusations.
That's what I was going to say.
I wasn't talking about that, but yeah, I know what you're
right. So I mean, from the outside looking, you could say, hey, that does seem like this conspiracy, but I think like the influence behind it was just inspiring.
That makes sense.
Was inspiring more people.
More sense than it being a conspiracy theory. It was just like someone came out and said, and then someone else got the courage because of that, and then someone else got the courage because of that.
It's also like, dude, before, like, people, like, girls especially didn't want to step up and talk about their them being sexually assaulted because, like, let's say actresses, for example, it was like their career, right? They're talking about all these high-level producers and executives that are sexually assaulting them, and they feel like if they said anything, then, you know, their whole career would be over. Now, with like all these hashtags and social media, like, dude, it's really becoming a thing where you can speak up and, you know, and people will stand behind you. You know what I mean? It'll be valid. But like back then, it wasn't like that. So I think nowadays people just are a lot more comfortable, and I think that's cool. We came a long way.
Hey, it's motherfucking loud.
Yes.
Y'all know what it is. It's episode 60.
What?
We're
60?
coming back heavy and hot-handed. Kushan, I'm going to jump to you for this next topic.
Hey, so it's gonna be something light. It's gonna be hard to, you know, because we just came off sexual assault.
I hate to do this to you though, man. Could I go? Because I had something to do along those lines.
Can I go, dude? Because I gotta leave, bro.
Go. It's that time of the night. No, for real. It kind of relates.
Go ahead.
You can't say no, we're on camera.
Yeah, that's right. No, I was saying how.
But after,
No.
First of all, we all know how gullible E-Man can be. You know me. You know what I'm talking about. I saw this article on Facebook.
Word.
And it said how Alabama.
No. This is
That's
my
fake?
fucking topic. Wait, no, wait. No, go ahead, bro.
Was I think it was castrating, right? Pedophiles.
Oh, that's not mine. That's not
chemically.
There's that.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
what do you guys think?
Wait, hold on. Can you give me some context? You got to give context when you talk.
You don't
about
know what that means? You don't know what I mean?
I know what castrating is. but-
Convicted pedophiles, we castrate them by giving them chemicals.
Is this real?
It's real.
That's what I was.
It's a practice, and it sounds like it just got.
It passed.
in
Like that's what
Alabama.
I didn't know if it was for real. So I wanted to come to the experts here.
I thought I saw that as well. Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? Is that I feel like that's dope. That's awesome, and I feel like we should all.
I don't think that's real, man.
You don't think it's real?
Where they chemically castrate you.
Yeah, it's a real thing. 100%.
And this is already in there. This is not like
It's just passed in Alabama.
Yeah, there's other states and other places that have done it before.
Alabama, North Korea, or Alabama, United States.
United States. Chemical castration.
There's an Alabama,
is,
North Korea. I
Come
didn't
on,
know
man.
that, dude.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
it's a thing, man.
The more you know.
Where have you been? You've never
Fuck.
watched like CSI or like
Okay, no.
Law and Order?
Pretend you like
Pretend I believe it.
Yeah, and everything. What are your thoughts behind it?
Oh
Like,
man, I don't give a fuck, man. Take it off, dude.
yeah. No, I mean like, do you feel like they deserve it? Do you feel like they should? It's too much. Do you feel like what?
Dude, honestly, man, like
Because you were the one that was saying how you can rehabilitate anybody. And you were on one of the podcasts. You were like, yeah.
That's why he wanted to go next. He was gunning for you.
But okay, hold on. Hold on.
saying.
No, I feel like we could get rehabilitated, but you still have to pay for your fucking sins.
Exactly.
And if paying for your sins means that dick comes off, sometimes the dick gotta come off, man.
Castration is your testicles, right? It's basically.
Yeah.
You're done.
Or that's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Take it off, dude. You'll still live. You just can't fuck. And to be more specific, you can't fuck kids, and that's fine. You can enjoy the quality of life without your balls, without your dick, without your foreskin, without whatever you got. It's gone, dude. You can still enjoy life. Fuck it.
I
Take
thought
it
it was
off,
dope.
dude.
I was like, hell yeah, and I feel like we should like every state in the United States should, you know.
I don't. Like I said, dude, you're not gonna get me feeling sympathy for like.
No, I'm not
taking
no.
the dick off.
We're going pretty heavy.
I'm not saying
in the
that.
first
I'm not
15
trying to
minutes.
take-
we're
no,
going
what the
pretty
hell?
heavy. Man, it's a motherfucking Loud
What do you
Boys
think?
podcast.
Yeah, you never said what you thought.
I think I think that there's certainly some cases that warrant that. I don't know much about like how that actually works, or like what it is. Like, oh, if it's 2 years, if you're gonna spend 2 years in prison, then at that point they're gonna chemically castrate you, or if you've done X, Y, Z. I think it's a good idea, but I also think just like with anything in like the criminal system, it probably needs more oversight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely do think that.
But I feel like in general,
as a
like,
punishment,
yeah,
it should be good.
Exactly, just for that, like crimes, against kids and stuff like that, dude. I feel like.
Do you think that stops anybody? Do you think that stops?
I feel like it instills.
Do you think people are like? You think that instills?
I feel like it would instill fear of people, dude. Hell yeah.
I don't know, man.
Dude, okay, maybe it'll make them think twice about shit.
Nah, I don't think so. If you're a pedophile, you're a pedophile. And you're always gonna.
No, but okay.
It's a fucking Loud Boys podcast. We're gonna get off this topic, just because it's getting a little too heavy. A little too weird. Sean, why don't you say the topic that you had before?
Yeah, so light.
E-man. All right. Dude, it's the last time. Dude.
Come on, dude.
It's the last time.
I had to let it out.
Get to come in.
No, it's something to do with your topic. What about castration?
Come on. I was along the lines of,
What's topic?
All right, So we all know about the Happy Meal, right?
No, what is that?
The McDonald's Happy Meal.
Oh, that thing.
All right, stop it, man. You're being too much right now.
Yeah, what about it?
Come on, man.
So Burger King has released their version of the Happy Meal.
What's it called?
Right?
They've always had it.
Hold on.
The kids meal, right?
No, dog. Oh. Come on, dog.
Okay,
Can you shut up?
Finish.
All right, look. So McDonald's has the Happy Meal, and Burger King is now combating the Happy Meal with saying the not blue or the something blue meal. Oh, the blue meal. It's called.
It's your topic, man.
Hold on. It's the blue meal. No, it's the blue meal.
It's the blue meal.
Because not so blue meal.
Because sometimes we're not always happy, so we have the blue meal.
The blue meal.
Now the blue meal has a series of categories. They have the blue meal. They have the Yaz meal. Don't give a fuck meal.
What?
And then
this is for kids?
Yeah, it's the DGAF meal. All it is different boxes. It's the fucking Whopper and fries.
Okay.
But this is for kids.
It's just a fucking version of the Happy Meal.
That's funny.
All right?
Be like, Damien,
But there's no different food. And they were saying that they want to raise awareness for mental health issues. All right? But none of the money that they get from this goes back into mental health research or anything. It's just a fucking thing to increase mental health issues.
Awareness.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Awareness. What do you think about that?
I feel like maybe some portions of it should go to certain places that, deal with mental health patients or whatever,
First of all, I think you need to have some motherfucking new food if you're gonna make a fucking whole meal. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fucking same type of food in a different box. Well, and you're not making no fucking money for the research for mental health.
They're just creating new combos that you can eat, basically.
Yo, so I'm going to play devil's advocate. What if, they're spreading awareness right now because we're talking about it. You brought it up on this podcast.
Oh, shit. So they're fulfilling their mission.
Doug, I feel like it was a fucking cheap, it was just like a way to stay relevant with shit, right? And I feel like they pimped out the whole fucking mental health awareness shit to fucking.
Hasn't everyone though?
To bring awareness to the new fucking.
But hasn't everyone?
That's the whole thing. What?
I think pimping out mental mental health is like a thing right now.
If you're gonna do that, then at least kick back some fucking.
At least kick back some bread.
Kick back some bread to fucking mental health awareness.
Oh my God.
So I don't know. I just think this whole fucking blue meal I think it was some fucked up shit, man. And I don't like it. And plus, dude, there's no fucking new food. There's no chicken in it. It's just a goddamn Whopper and some fucking fries.
So you want some new shit, basically. If you're gonna
make this whole thing about you got this new rollout for this new shit, then you at least need to have some fucking new food, man.
I could be jaded, but I feel like anytime there's like a controversy like this with a large corporation, like how much of this is like planned? How much of this did they know was gonna outrage people and then get them tweeting and talking and like riled up about Burger King, but also at the same time spreading awareness?
No publicity is bad publicity, right?
I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe like in this current climate or whatever. But that's the first thing I think of now.
I feel like they're making moves without trying to spend too much money.
Ooh.
Who doesn't like that? That owns a business, Like you're gonna come out with the ideas, and if you don't have to spend money and shit.
Me,
bro,
James,
sit down,
Steven,
sit down.
No, for real.
How would you like to make more money with no money?
What?
That's a cool dog, don't you?
That's not what the fuck I said.
That's what you said.
No, I didn't. So you have a restaurant, right? You sell burgers, corn dogs, and hot dogs.
I didn't disagree with you.
Come on,
burgers, corn dogs, and hot dogs.
Yeah, and then you have a meal that you get all three.
All right, man.
You have a meal, you get 2. A meal, you get 1.
All right, man. Well, that's my shit. That's my take on it. Go ahead.
Hey, it's the motherfucking Lab Boys podcast. And we're only doing a couple 30 minutes tonight, Only one 30-minute tonight, so I don't want to get into anything too deep. But I did ask you guys this last podcast before we actually filmed the podcast. We didn't get around to it, so I'll ask it again. And this one is kind of deep, so hopefully you guys enjoy it and you learn a little bit more about us. E-Man saying, wait.
We didn't want to get deep, but it's deep.
I mean, we'll start off with something else. We won't go too deep. How about that?
Do it.
Okay.
You already did.
So what is the hardest thing that you've had to admit to yourself?
Ooh.
Oh, man.
I feel like maybe
that you couldn't dance.
That time isn't enough, man. You don't have enough time. No matter what, you're not gonna have enough time.
Damn, you know what? That was. It kind of goes into what I was saying.
Yeah, because it's like I mean, that's one of the things I had to admit to myself. Is like, yo, I'm not gonna have enough time to do all of this.
Yeah.
But
you know what? I'm gonna agree with you, man. I think that when I was younger, I had like this whole plan of when I wanted to accomplish things by, when this is gonna get done, when I'm gonna have kids by, when I'm gonna be married.
Okay.
All these things that I was 100% that they were gonna fall into place at that time, right? Mm. And I think the hardest thing to admit to myself is that, dude, shit doesn't go the way that you plan. And like to what E-Man was saying, and I say that to say that when I was younger, dude, time felt like it was going slow, right?
Yeah,
and I had all the time in the world to do this and do that, right? And everything that I didn't do that I thought I was going to, I would be like, okay, well, there's always next year, or there's always this time. There's always, I'll get to it, and I'll procrastinate it, and then, dude, it's like there's so many of those things that still haven't.
And then new things come into play, and you're just like, whoa.
And that just keeps fucking up the plan. So I just think, to what you're saying is, I just think that, life is not how I planned it to be. So I think that's the hardest part.
Yeah, and you admitted that to yourself. Hey, man, that's tough. The hardest thing that I've had to admit to myself, it's weird.
You're not a ballerina?
No, I'm not.
Come on,
they know that.
Man, he's a ballerina. Don't tell him he's not a ballerina.
It's funny because I was the one that wanted to bring this topic up, and I really had a hard time thinking about what's the actual hardest thing that I've had to admit. And I think the hardest thing I've had to explain to myself or talk to myself about is being weak.
This dude had that in the canon, son.
Yeah, as far as what though?
I was the king of sound bites, dude.
So for a long time, in my life, I'm very used to picking things up on my own and just kind of charging ahead with them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that involves me telling myself, I can do this, I can do anything, and just no matter what, keep your head down and just push forward, right? But there was a lot of times where things would come up, things that were out of my control, that I still felt it was a personal dig to me. If something didn't work out and I'd been working my hardest on, it felt like a dig to me. It's damn, okay, well, that's what's up or whatever. But I had to teach myself or talk to myself about, hey, that's normal. That's just a part of the process and what you're doing. That's not necessarily a weakness, because I would look at it that's a weakness. That's a mark on me. But
so is it safe to say that you've had to admit to yourself that you need to be vulnerable, or your vulnerabilities?
Just that everything that I want to do, I may not be able to do. And not in the sense of a long-term thing, but just hey, maybe you can't do this for 1 hour and then jump over to something else for another hour and then split to this for another hour.
Yeah.
Where before I just thought, man, I just need to be everywhere and doing everything, and
I can relate to that.
It's hard, man, but
oh no, you could just relate to everything.
No, it's true though. because dude,
get your own thoughts.
No, but
it's your own homies.
There's a lot of things that dude, honestly, there was a time where I just felt like I was fucking invincible, right? There's nothing that could fucking hurt me. You want to do that? I could fucking do that. You want to do that? I could do that. I can get this done. I could do this. I could do all this, and accomplish everything. But dude, it's I don't know. You get older, you realize.
You can probably do it, but you're not gonna do a lot of those things right.
But you know what, dude? I still have a little bit of that in me, where I feel like I'm invincible sometimes. But it doesn't always end up in the way it needs to be.
Hey, and I'm sure the older we get, there'll be a lot more stuff that we have to admit to ourselves. They'll be shit.
My mama always said.
What'd she say?
She used to tell me a lot. She's like, dude, as you get older, time is gonna go by quicker.
Damn.
I remember when I turned 30, she was like, dude, from 30 to 40, it's gonna go out in like a blink of an eye, you know? And dude, like I feel it. Like I don't know if it's because she said it and it's like a placebo or some shit, but once I hit that 30, I was just like, dude, the year's almost up. Like what the fuck? Time's flying. Like
we need to have somebody tell you that, man, from 30 to 40 is a long time.
No, well, somebody told me it's just that your concept of time changes.
It does.
Like when you're a kid, like a summer lasts so long because it's like this is your first summer. Right, you only know that like, oh my god, and then the second summer comes around, the third summer, and you're like, oh, you know, summer's coming here, and it's this time.
Well, the way I've heard that is like, when you're a kid, you're learning. You're just learning so much. You don't know much of the world, you know. So it just seems slower and then as you get older, you know more things. There's less. I mean, there's still a lot to be learned, but there's
people
less.
just move faster. Right?
No, it's just there's just less.
Faster.
Like when you're
wait till you get older, slow down.
No, bro. Like when you're a little kid, it's like. There's these concepts of things, dude. Like, fuck both of y'all.
It's funny, man. Yeah, people move faster because they're around kids.
You get what I'm saying?
Hey, come on, get in line, kids. Get in line, kids. Get in line, kids.
No, like when you're a kid, dude. Like you're learning like something simple, like night and day, clouds, sun, all that shit. You know, you're learning this stuff, and it's like it's so much, it's so big, and it seems like you're going so slow. But then when you're older, it's like you know all this, and there's just like. I feel like
so you're not
the
learning,
intake of knowledge.
You're not learning You're not learning at the pace that you were used to.
Exactly. So it seems like time is flying by.
Wouldn't time go faster for kids then? If that was the logic, if you're learning more and you are busy,
not necessarily,
and more occupied in your mind, wouldn't time go faster?
No, because you spend less amount of time thinking about time. And more time thinking about the shit that you're learning about.
I don't know.
Yeah, none of this shit. There's no
when you watch this, you're gonna understand what
it's
I just
the motherfucking Lab Boys podcast, episode 60, and I kind of want to keep the vibes going. We might go over 30 minutes if you guys are cool with that. But we're all rappers, musicians, accomplished, right? I wanted to remind the audience of that, so I do have a question for you guys. It's kind of deep, but it's also pretty cool.
Go ahead, baby.
What's the favorite line you've ever written, and what did it mean to you?
Like
in your own music.
My own music. Yeah. Damn, you could have kind of prepared us for this one.
I could have, but I didn't. But I can start.
Fuck,
I talked about it in the 16 Summers, like promotion that we did. But I fell in love once. I can't remember her name. We all used to dream. I remember when it changed. And it's talking about at the time I'd only like had deep like love at one time in my life, but at the time I was writing it, I couldn't remember that person's name. And then I remember that we all used to have dreams, and I remember the moment that like people gave up and shit. So yeah.
Dang, dude. I honestly, man, that's hard. There's so many of my lyrics that are dope that I can't like pick one.
Me neither, bro.
You can't pick one of mine?
I mean, yeah, I can pick one of yours.
We can come back next week with that answer.
Yeah,
I got like Eman's like cycling through the lyrics and shit.
What? Because dude, no, there is some that.
But Eman, dude, all I had that cocked and loaded.
Yeah, he did.
Oh come on.
No,
I'm always
cocking lyrics, dude. It was cocking lyrics.
Man, there's been
cocking lyrics.
There's been times where it's like. You know, I'm like spitting something, rapping something, and I'm like, oh, like holy shit, like that's really dope. Like I'm not too cocky or some shit, but I'm like, you feel it. I don't know if you guys ever like when you guys are like rapping your shit, you ever like say something and you just get the chills, like.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of
or when you hear music too. I mean, but. It's dope
when it's your music,
like,
you have
it's
a
dope
moment.
when you wrote it, you're spitting it, and then you feel it. It's just like whoa.
So then, give me a lyric from somebody else that you have always resonated with, or just always thought it was. Damn, that's fucking dope.
That was dope. So if a man can't make one, bro, Tupac, keep your head up. He has no right to tell a woman when and where to create one.
Damn, dude,
that's like
he said one part of the lyric, talked a little bit, and then said the second part of the lyric. I was wondering where you were gonna come back.
Married man.
I was worried that you guys didn't know what I was talking about. That's why I said that.
Okay.
I was like, fuck. I forgot Tupac that quick.
I would say Kendrick Lamar on High Power, like a line that he said that always stuck with me. He's like, I got my finger on the motherfucking pistol, aiming at a pig. Charlotte's Web is gonna miss you. And I was like, shit, because he's talking about like Charlotte's Web and the pig, and like it's just the way that he said it. I'm not sure.
I forgot a kid pig's name, dude.
There was this one lyric.
What was the lyric, dude?
No, it was by this. Hold on. I'm gonna say it right now.
Oh, come on.
No, hold on.
Look at you. Look
at you for the Google kids.
Hold on. It's dope, man.
He's Googling best lyric out there,
man.
2018.
No, okay. Well, anyway, he says some shit like, No, he said, hold on. He said, I want a girl when I want a girl, but when I don't want a girl, I want a girl to understand that.
Hey.
He said something about like, I have to tell a woman where I stand at. I want a girl when I want a girl, but when I don't want a girl, I want a girl who understands that. I was like, dang, that's hard, man, because it's so true, dude. You go back, especially man, always like that.
Come on, man. Shots fired.
But no, it's not a bad thing.
You're gonna need to press that button.
Right.
Hey, it's a motherfucking Lab Boys podcast. People are taking shots. I don't know about it. But this is episode 60. Krishan, I do kind of want to jump to you for one more topic before we get out of here. Thank you guys so much also, by the way. Make sure you check out 16 Summers. It's popping.
I did have a viewer submitted topic, but I think we're gonna get to that.
Actually,
next
let
week.
me ask you a question. After this, do you guys want to do something deep after this? Or you guys are cool with it?
Like digging, like.
Just a question that I think is like fitting for the time that we're in. No, after what you're talking about.
Yeah. So anyway, I had a viewer submitted topic, but I'm gonna do it next episode. If you're watching, that's gonna be next episode.
We'll get you next time. Hey,
don't worry. Because I really wanted to get to this new law that I'm not sure if it passed yet in Georgia about abortions. Right?
It's crazy we have to talk about this.
Oh man.
So. There's already abortion laws that say that you need to have your abortion before 20 weeks, right? There's already laws in place. But now with this new
3 months, right? That's the 3 months.
Yeah, but now with this new abortion law, it's called the heartbeat law or something. So it's as soon as there is a heartbeat detected in the fetus, then you cannot have an abortion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The problem with that is that happens around 5 to 6 weeks, and a lot of times women don't even know that they're pregnant before that.
Right.
So you don't have really an opportunity, or in a lot of cases, to abort your child. So what do you guys think about this new law?
Dude, I don't know how much hate I'm gonna get for this.
Go ahead, talk about it.
But I feel like, dude, you need to be like responsible, bro. You need to have a fucking brain, dude. Like. I
have a fucking brain, bitch.
Episode 60 is where we lose it all, dude.
Okay, abortions in general, I feel like it's fucked up. I know that some.
I don't know what you're thinking though.
Like what?
Where do you stand on it though? Because
I'm torn in between. Dude.
Oh, that's a safe answer, bro.
No, I am.
I don't know how much hate I'm gonna get for this, but I don't know what to choose.
No, because one side of me is like, dude, okay, if that person really needs that, like to have the abortion, and it's gonna, like if that baby that's coming is just gonna make your life miserable, or I don't know, dude. That if where you stand, as a person, where you stand, what you need, what the fuck.
I feel like,
but I just feel like it's like, just have more fucking like responsibility. Just be more responsible. Like how you're saying, like, oh, they don't know if the heart. Like if you fucked, then you might. If you didn't use contraception, like you might be pregnant.
Okay, but
you know what I mean? Like I guess need to have that. And it's like this whole thing where it's like, oh, well, the condom ripped or whatever.
Okay,
it's like.
But hold on, and let me play devil's advocate. That may be true, but come on, dog. In a perfect world, like
bro, because I remember how cautious I was.
And that's cool. And that's good. And everyone should be like that. But not everything is like that. So when you say to the, so I want to know what y'all think.
I feel like how it was, or
fuck,
sorry, dude, it's because I gotta get it
point.
How it was fine. I don't know why they just went back into it and started trying to change it and shit. Right. I felt like the 3 months to have the abortion.
Because people look at that as murder.
But that's what it is. That's what it's.
All the pro-lifers are like, dude, you're killing someone. Why? Why aren't there laws to protect fetuses?
I feel like you, as a person, you need to be more responsible, dude. Like.
So do you agree with it then? Do you agree with the heartbeat law?
Yeah, I feel like that was the. Like when I started hearing about changing, and then when I heard about, I think it was New York, there was like up until the point where they're born, like that's just fucking inhumane, bro.
I don't even think that's possible, bro.
No, they were saying that, bro. Like up until before they.
How do you do that?
Killing a baby, bro. Like.
Let's check the facts, everybody.
Yeah, let's check the facts, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was, bro. In New York, like people were going fucking crazy over that shit.
I don't know about all that. So what do you think, make sure you guys check the Google facts on that.
Maybe not. I don't know, but check it out.
What do you think, man?
So I mean, I think like the resounding answer from most women has been, this is way too soon to tell. That's like right when they're finding out that they missed a period. You're putting them in a very like precarious situation to make a lot of decisions very fast, which everybody knows any decision made under like tons of pressure with a time limit is probably not your best decision. So I think it's pretty silly. I think the way that it was probably should have stayed. But again, I honestly think that we should start listening to women more, dude. Like, I understand that we're all dudes and like we have like, but what I'm saying is like they're all saying the same thing. So, like, maybe
but also in saying that, it's like this. It's like, dude, the heartbeat shit. Like, dude, honestly, E-Man, I agree with everything you're saying as far as you need to be more responsible. We need to fucking check this shit early. If you bro, like you need. I get it. But dude, like, I also don't feel like we have any type of fucking say, or the government shouldn't have any type of say with a woman and what she should do with her body.
No,
like, I feel like, dude, there shouldn't be. You can't just go and say that you can't do something with your body. Like, this is your fucking body. You did this. Like, you created this. Who are they to tell you what you need to do with that? And I will forever think that that's just wrong. There should be no regulation as far as what to do with your fucking body.
Everybody's different, and like I said,
exactly.
Only you know what's going on in your life. So if you need to do something, then you need to do something. You know, like.
Like I said, that's just what I think. So with the new shit, like, dude, honestly, this I might get some hate for this, but dude, it's like they say it's like the heartbeat, but dude, like, I think the repercussions are a lot worse if you're having a baby that you don't want to have.
Yeah,
that's what my girl was. She mentioned something like that because we kind of talked about it, and she was like, "Oh,
your wife."
My wife. But I'm sorry, dude. Damn.
Get him.
Anyways, so we were talking.
You wish you got one of these.
Yeah, no, I don't. But we were talking about it, and you know, she was just like, oh, well, kind of cold, you know. She was like, oh, well, now there's probably gonna be more babies in the trash cans. That's what she said. And
damn,
I was like,
more Brendas.
I was like, holy shit, you know. But.
Yeah, it's a tough topic.
Brenda's got a baby. That's what I'm doing.
I know. It's a tough topic, but
because she has
I really do think that like across the board, when it comes to things that have to do with women, we gotta listen to women more. Mm-hmm. And it's a motherfucking Lab Boys podcast saying that, so you guys know it's true as shit.
Yo.
I'm kind of digging the whole deep vibe. I wanted to hop into this when you guys said you're into it. So without further ado,
it better be no whack ass question.
No. Father's Day is coming up this Sunday. Is it Sunday?
16th or
yeah. Shout out to all the fathers around there. But since it's Father's Day and this is going to drop this week, I wanted to know, how has your father impacted your life? For those of us that are fathers, I also want to know, how has being a father impacted your life?
Damn, man.
There's more.
Told you we were going deep, man. It's motherfucking Lab Boys podcast, episode 6.
Oh, you want us? I've been starting, dude. You go.
Yeah, you've been starting and finishing.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
My bad.
I'll be lucky if I got it in between, dude.
She.
Dude, I don't know. My dad has been a huge role model in my life. I think my whole life. I think that my dad growing up, he just made me believe that I could do anything, and he supported everything that I wanted to do, right? Even if it's something that he didn't really want for me, right? Like when it was music or something, you know, he got my first computer mic where I could start making music, you know, like or like videos, like he always wanted to foster any type of creativity or anything that I had or anything that I wanted. And then also just him being a role model, always watching him and how hard he works and how much he's loved my mom. It's just like all the things he's done. I just feel like that's always been the embodiment of what a male role model is supposed to be, or a father figure is supposed to be. So I always wanted to emulate that, and there's a lot of things that I just do to emulate that without even me knowing it sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Father's Day, right.
Father's Day.
What about you, man?
Well, honestly, I never really spent time with my dad, bro. Ever since I was probably 4. I saw him when I was 8, and he kind of disappointed me.
Damn, go ahead, talk about it.
It was like, so you know, I go to Mexico, and I hadn't seen him for like 4 years. So I get there, and then I'm expecting like a big welcome, you know, like, oh hey, how you doing, hug and shit and all that, and I'm just there like, I get there and I'm like, hey, what's up? He sees me and he's like, oh hey. Comes up, gives me like a quick hug, and then he's like, oh, I just gotta get back to work. I'm like, you haven't seen me in 4 years. I was 8 years old. And I felt that like, okay, you know, like, all right, whatever. We left Mexico, came here, haven't really heard from him since, but it's not like he doesn't try to keep contact with me. He does, but I just don't feel like there's anything I can like. There's no connection there with me and him. Like there's no bond, you know. Like
so,
my mom has been my dad and my mom. So you know what I mean? Like
I feel like
my mom's the shit.
I feel like do you guys? I mean, and with your guys' stories too, because I know it's kind of similar. As far as like with the dads and stuff, like do you think that sometimes like the dad will reach out not because he wants to be like a father figure or not because he wants to be the father, but more to ease his guilt? Do you ever think that that's something?
They're reaching out because of that?
Yeah, or
not necessarily. It's crossed my head. It has, and I'm like, oh, you know, he probably just feels guilty, or. But I feel like at the same time, I'm gonna start feeling that guilt.
And I'm not saying this with y'all. I'm just asking because
no, I know, but I might as well just talk. About
right.
So
only got one dad, dude.
No, but yeah, I feel like
come on, dude.
It's like
you gotta laugh to keep from crying, dude.
In a way where it's like I'm starting to feel guilty about maybe not trying to
doing your part.
Yeah, like me trying to keep in contact with him, or you know, I don't know if you guys know this about me. You guys probably. I have 2 or 3 stepsisters in Mexico.
You never told any of us.
And actually, one of them hit me up on Messenger, and she was like, "Hey, like, Dad's pretty sick, you know, like, he's been feeling bad. He's been going to the doctor. I don't know how to react to that, and I don't feel like
because you don't feel
I don't feel like the necessity to call him, you know. I don't know if I'm fucked up for that.
Do you feel guilty for that?
Sometimes
for not
I do.
Feeling that?
Sometimes I do, but then I'm like, I'm like, what am I gonna talk to him about? Like, what am I gonna say? Like,
right.
I feel like it's too much, and I'm just like, nah. I just kind of back up, and it's like, my mom's never talked bad about him. She's always been like, yo, if you want to call him, you know, do it, or this and that.
That's dope.
So you've always had access to him if you wanted to. You just
it's just not been since that one time in Mexico, it's just like, oh, this fool don't care. Like, you know, he doesn't. And I don't know. I talked to my brother, and he was like, dude, he's just like that. He's not like the loving type. He's not like, you know, he's not like that. Right. And I'm like, well, fuck me neither. So I guess we're fucked. You know, like,
I thought it was gonna end different.
Nah, but there's been plenty of times my mom has asked me. She's like, you feel any different like growing up without a dad?
Right.
And the only thing I could think
of. Such a mom question.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of was just like maybe like being more confident. That's where it kind of fucked with me.
Yeah.
I feel like confidence you get from a dad. I don't know.
Oh shit. As a male, yeah, you probably get like confidence from your pops.
So what about you, man?
Yeah, my bad. That was.
Well, no, I mean,
that was good.
How has being a father impacted you? Because now you're a father,
yeah,
right?
like now it's like, I don't know, bro. It's just so dope, and I just feel like a big part of it is just like I don't necessarily always just think of myself. Like I know that's like the cliche thing,
crazy, though,
but it's like
sounds good.
Like before doing something, anything that is gonna affect my life, you know. Like I always think of my kids. I'm like, you know, like you know, like anything, and I feel like that's a big impact. It's made me more like mature, more like responsible, more like attentive to like family, make sure that they get their needs and stuff. But yeah, it's impacting.
I've heard the most selfish people in the world say that after they had kids, they felt that they're not the only ones in the world anymore.
Yeah, bro, because you literally stop. I mean, you can relate, right? You stop. Like it doesn't matter so much what happens to you as long as they're okay.
Yeah, your time's kind of up.
That's what I feel like.
No, really. I mean,
dark real quick.
Not in a bad way, but it's just like your whole.
You evolve, bro. I don't feel like your time is up.
No, but hear me out.
For you,
more so in your head, you're just thinking like, okay, like the time that I have to just think about my own like life is up. Like,
and now you're responsible for
now my
else.
focus is on this person and how we're gonna get them to wherever they want to go.
So what's up with you, man?
What's up with you, man? It's another fucking Loud Boys podcast episode 6.
We got even to open up tough, dude.
You got him sweating on cam, dude.
Every time we talk about your father, you always sweat.
Come on, dude, don't do that on the cam. So I mean, it's gonna sound super cliche, but I mean, my dad really impacted my life. Most people know this, but my mom and dad split when I was around 16. I haven't really seen him since then. We've kept in contact a very, very tiny bit. I kind of like cut contact off, but it did teach me and impact my life in the sense that I knew what it felt like for someone to not be present in your life. and like have to deal with some of those questions about like why, right, and then looking internally at myself and stuff like that. So in turn, like when I had my daughter, you know, something that was so important to me was like, I'm always going to be here. I'm never not going to be present. You're never going to have to wonder about like the way that I feel about you. So yeah, it's motherfucking.
Before we wrap this shit up,
I have one more.
Can I ask you like how much of your parenting and y'all methods of being a father is influenced directly from not having a father, or around much in your childhood, or who your fathers were?
Yeah, I mean, I would say a lot of it, right? But you learn different things like differently. There's some things that I learned positively from him that I used like with my daughter, and then there's just other areas where I had to learn lessons, and I knew, you know what, I'm not going to be that person when I, you know, become a father.
Were they things that you always knew, like even when you were a kid, like, dude, like, when I'm older, I'm going to be this type of father? And is it still relevant now?
It is, yeah. From an early age, it's weird,
Yeah,
but I always knew, like, from just like some of my first memories, thinking, nah, I'm not going to be that guy. And then it just carries forward now, and it's like it's strange because like one of the weirdest things for me, it took a really long time for me to get used to it, when people would say like, oh, you're a good father, right? Because for me, I would think like the stuff that I'm doing, I'm just doing because it feels normal and natural, right? But I'm like, if it's this easy for me to do, why was it so hard for someone else to do, right? So that's something I think that I've like kind of struggled with, and like over time, kind of like I can accept the compliment now. I'm like, hey, back at you, buddy. Dude. You're a good dad.
Oh, not just me. It's you in the club too, man.
Damn.
Yeah, it's motherfucking Lab Boys podcast. E-Man, you were gonna say something before we head out of here?
Well, I was just wondering, what did you think?
I can take my jacket off.
Like,
what's up?
I was wondering about the differences because my parents split when I was 2.
Okay.
You said your parents split when they were 16.
When I was 16.
Yeah, when you were 16.
No, they were
That's what I meant.
14-year difference.
But, yeah, okay. But
You asked what the difference was.
what would... Come on, man.
And you thought we couldn't do math.
No, for real. Like, was it... What do you think? It's easier? What I think it's a lot harder for a 16-year-old to go through that.
Oh, okay.
I feel kind of lucky. I felt kind of lucky because I went through it
at a younger age.
Yeah, at a younger age. Like I still saw my dad up until the point when I was like 4.
Yeah.
And it was like I'd go back and forth between him and my my uncle because my mom was here.
Well, you're also saying that you just didn't have an attachment because you at 2 years old you don't have too much of an attachment. Like you probably don't have too many memories.
It's a trip
right?
because I still remember. Like I can remember that night.
Damn.
Like I remember.
What was you wearing?
Come on, not like that. But
right,
I remember where I was at. I remember where they were at, and I remember not the conversation, but the tone of the conversation.
Right, the vibes.
Like the feeling again.
And like I was 2 years old, dude, and it's like it's engraved in my head, you know. And so for 16 years old, it's just like, well, I don't know if you were present, but I was present when they were having the talk.
I was there.
He was there when your parents were having the talk.
Yeah?
No. So I mean, everybody's situation is different. For me, it's kind of funny because for a long time in my head, like I was hoping that they would split up. Right, just because.
Were hoping.
Yeah, I mean, outside of my dad, just like
you were not close. Were you close to your dad?
Not really, not in that sense. I mean, the way that he ran things, I didn't really agree with from like an early age. So I think we always butted heads. But I think our whole family, like my sister and brother, all saw too that like, hey, these two people shouldn't be together. So when they finally told us, I think we're all like, yeah, like that makes sense. Like when they said, oh, we're gonna split, we're like, yeah, that's cool. Like, kind of figured. And my mom was like, I think surprised and was like, what are you guys talking about? It's like, dude, we've been watching like the same thing. You've been watching. Let's do this. Like, you know, peace.
Take the step.
Shout out to everybody out there on Father's Day. However you celebrate, whether it's your birth father, whether your mother's playing the role, whether you don't have a father, whatever it is, we send much love to y'all. It is not easy, but it's something that is worth doing.
Keep going forward.
Yeah, it's episode 60. Well, thank you so much, man.
Senor.
Thank you so much, dude. Don't give me a sweaty hug, dude. I don't want a sweaty hug. I don't want a sweaty hug. It's the motherfucking Lab Boys podcast. This was episode 60. Make sure you guys subscribe. If you want to check out my music, check out 16 Summers. It is on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere else you can find music. If you want to see me live, that is August 29th in that's June 29th in Santa Cruz, August 4th in San Francisco, and then August 23rd I'll be back in Santa Cruz with some more shows split up in between them. It's the motherfucking Lab Boys. Krishan, where can these people do more stuff with us?
Yo, I know you watching the video, but look down. You see that red subscription button? Hit hit that red subscription button, and right next to that red subscription button is that post notification bell. Hit that post notification bell. That way you get reminded every time we release a video.
He just can't get it. He just can't get it.
I was almost out, man.
Oh man,
You gotta rehearse that, bro.
We'll see y'all later, dude. Peace.
To the answer, hear the angels in my city with my window rolled down. Motivation telling me to never slow down. I just wanna make it for them brake lights. Never slow me down. Them red lights never slow me down. Shaking like a small town. You're moving like a small town. Can't forget it like back in the day. Been searching for peace, chasing my dreams, walking these streets, lost in these keys. Ended years ago. Yo, we 2 shots in, party of a